Greetings and welcome to another video hosted by yours truly. But first, the channel has reached 1000 subscribers and I'm really happy and thankful for that. The community has been awesome, you guys has been awesome, and I'm just grateful for that. Let's move on with the video before I start crying. Today's video will be about the new clone, the Core Freezer, which got added recently in the December 2nd update. But before I cover that, I want to cover these cute little emotes. These look really good. I love the doggo one, the one that's smiling, and the one that's crying. Not all of them are present in the game currently, but they will be soon, and I would love to buy them. Also, the new tower skins look good, the festive one and the new rocket one. I would like to buy them if they are reasonably priced. So let's look at the new clone. It's a 4 mana Unreal clone that creates a storm around it, which slows and freezes enemy that gets inside it. The freeze duration at level 1 is 8.7 seconds, so that should give you enough time to plan another defensive strategy if this doesn't work. And with the new changes to the freeze mechanic, the critical damage, this freeze effect is really helpful on defense because the tower can kill things faster. It's not mentioned in the card, but it stays on the map for roughly 30 seconds. Along with that, it also has tower damage close to a plain bomb if you want to use it that way, but I would recommend not to because it's better as a defensive clone than as an offensive one. It takes some time for the Core Freezer to freeze the enemy clones, so you have to keep that in mind. It's not an immediate answer, you have to set it up first and then the Core Freezer will do its work. It can freeze a clone multiple times if it's blocking the path of the clone, which will be really handy to defend against ground pushes like the bomb golem. Sometimes after a clone has been frozen once, it becomes immune to the freezing and slow effect of the Core Freezer. It seems like a bug to me and I don't know how to recreate it every time, but this has happened a few times in my testings. If you have the second bow activated, the Core Bomber can deal with the bomb golem on its own with the help of the tower. When the Core Freezer expires, it releases a Frost Nova that freezes every enemy clone within its radius. You might think it would be good against swarms, but it takes a while for the Core Freezer to freeze them, and by the time it's done, enough damage has been done to the Core Freezer that it cannot be used for anything else. You will get a +1 trade on this, but there are much better options for that. It's an excellent counter for Flying Barrel because you don't have to be accurate with it. You can just set it up and then it will work. I tested it inside the anti-gravity field to see if it disables it, but it seems like the Core Freezer works inside it without any issues. The Core Freezer will work even after it gets frozen by the icicle. The radius of the storm is not that big, and since it takes a while for the Core Freezer to freeze an enemy clone, some clones might get out of its range before it takes effect. The Core Freezer is not that heavy, it's lighter than many clones in the game, so you can push it with rocket or other pushers to push it into the enemy tower, but I wouldn't recommend doing it because it costs 4 mana and it doesn't deal as much damage for the cost. The low mass of it also is an hindrance to its effectiveness because any sort of hit can push it away, making it less useful in certain scenarios. There's another thing I found during my testing. The frozen clones that have lifetime on them, like Doggo House or Core Bomber, their life decays much faster when they are frozen, so that's a good buff to Icicle. If you're having trouble against Core Bomber decks or Doggo House deck, you can add it to kill those clones faster without investing much time on them and saving mana for your own combos. In my opinion, I like the idea of the Core Freezer, just don't like the execution of it. It doesn't have the mass required for it to be a good defensive clone, and the freeze duration is good, but the time it takes for it to freeze anything is quite long. Personally, I would like to see it get a mass buff. Yeah, something close to a magnet would be better as a defensive clone because you don't want to use it as an offensive clone. Its sole purpose is on defense and it's not doing that well. And they can decrease the time required for a clone to be frozen by its effect or increase the radius of the storm. That is my personal opinion on this clone. I would like to see some buffs to it. It certainly seems that it needs some buff to my taste. And that's my honest opinion on the clone. I'll see you guys next time with another video. Till then, this is Grapie signing out.